the next time you multitask, I would like for you to stop and become aware. You don't have to stop what you're doing. I just want you to stop being in your mind and notice what is actually arising right now. Because when you're multitasking, and I mean that you're doing something and then your gaze is falling over there, and in your mind, you're already preparing what you want to do next. When that happens, you are in a trauma response. This is your body, this is your nervous system that is telling you that you need to do quicker, more, better than what you think is happening. You're not in reality at all. Right now, you're in a situation where your nervous system feels pressured. You are in your fight, flight, freeze, or please nervous system. You're removing yourself from the now. You're removing yourself from what is actually arising right now. And you're locked into a delusion that is driven by your nervous system. And that is where you can stop and become aware. So when you're in the situation, you're standing and doing something, and your gaze is falling somewhere else. When that happens, when that split is happening, that is when your nervous system believes that you need to do that in order to be safe. If it's possible, I would like for you to stop everything you're doing and just notice your body right now. Where are you in your body right now? Where are you in your mind right now? Because your mind just created a delusion, an idea that this moment that is here right now can be different. It cannot. This moment is as it is right now. What you're doing right now is all there is. When your gaze is going somewhere else and your mind is going with it somewhere else, you're removing yourself from where life is happening. When that happens, you're locked into a nervous system. It's your nervous system that is doing it. It's not a conscious choice that you do. You will also start to notice that that split that is happening where you're here and your eyes or your gaze or your mind is going somewhere else, that split is happening a lot of times during the day. Every single time that happens, you're locked into your nervous system, you're locked into a survival. There's an underlying belief in you that you need to do or say something particular in order to feel safe, in order to be safe. That is a lie. That is your nervous system that is deluding you into believing that that is even possible. Now, like I said multiple times, your nervous system is built between the second trimester and when you're 3 years old. So this is pre-verbal. You cannot sort this out with your conscious mind at all. You need to stay in the sensory experience in your body, in what is arising in your body right now. Breathe into this moment right now to notice what is actually happening. And what you will feel is that there's a sensory experience in the body, and then there might be a thought about that if I don't do, I will fail. That is part of the delusion. In this moment, there is an arising happening right now. You have a thought that is attached to it, a thought that is adding to it. But that thought comes from an underlying belief. That is your starting point. That is how you believe reality is, how you believe you are, how you believe that you survive. That is not true. Now, we can have different starting points in our lives. If you go to the second fetter, you will see the second fetter is the curriculum about doubt, about the identification with feelings and emotions. And there's a lesson there that is called the toxic starting point. And that is when we believe that there's like an underlying driving in us about fear, anger, guilt, and shame. That we believe that we are under threat in some way. Now, this is not conscious. You cannot deal with this with your conscious mind. What you can do is notice what is arising in this moment. What underlying belief do I have about this moment right now? Well, I believe that if I'm not pulling myself together, I will never ever make it. Okay, what will happen if you don't make it? If you're doing so many things at the same time, if you stop that and only do one thing at a time and you don't make it, what then? What will happen? Well, then I will get fired and then I have to leave my house and then I have to, okay, calm down, calm down. Right now, you're creating a story in your mind. where you believe that you will lose if you don't push yourself past your boundaries. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that is what will happen? And if you have that, yeah, I'm sure if I don't do this much, I will get fired. Okay. Many, many things I could say about that. But let's just go to the worst case scenario. Would that be the worst thing that could happen? If you're in a job where you need to push yourself past your boundaries all the time, is that the best job for you? Now you probably have lots of thoughts coming up, lots of things you want to say. I just want to say that if you want to talk about these things, come to our inquiry meetings. Once a month, we have an inquiry meeting where you can come and you can talk to Todd and I. We can do inquiries about this with you and help you really see through this delusion. That was a bit of a bracket I just wanted to say. The takeaway is that whatever you believe you have to do in order to survive, you see that happening when you start to multitask, when you do multiple things in one go. That is an underlying belief about you, about that you will fail. It's your thoughts that is telling you that reality is in a certain way. That is not how reality is. It's just how you think it is. Work with the toxic starting point in the curriculum about doubt, about the identification with feelings and emotions, and let me know how you get on. Thank you.